Hello there, welcome to Standard Voice Television News Channel. I am Svtv Ibrahim. Here are our top stories for today. CP Usman Nogogo unveils Maru and Svtv local government's community policing advisory committees. Zamfara expresses readiness to reopen schools. COVID-19 hits 17,735 cases in Nigeria. On business, Nigeria lost $48 billion to oil thefts in 6 months. And on the international scene, Buhari participates in extraordinary China-Africa summit. Now the news in details. The inauguration of local government community policing advisory committee across the state continued in Maru and Svtv local government areas. The Commissioner of Police Zamfara State Command CP Usman Nogogo inaugurated a 16 and 17 members of the committee in Maru and Svtv local government areas respectively. The members of the committee were inaugurated at the palaces of the two emirates and was attended by the two local government chairmen, community, religious leaders and other important personalities of the two local government areas. The Commissioner of Police who inaugurating the committee stressed the importance of the community and emphasized that policing in the modern days is community-driven types. Hence, the people will have the opportunity of providing house-to-house watch. While responding, the emirs and the chairmen of the two local government areas appreciated the Inspector General of Police for the gesture, which they said would never be abused. They added that only people of impeccable character will be selected in the exercise. The CP was accompanied by the State Director of Security DSS, Commandant Civil Defense and other senior police officers. The program ended peacefully and will be extended to the remaining local government areas. The Zamfara state government says it is ready to reopen all its schools shut down some months ago due to the novel coronavirus pandemic. The State Commissioner of Education, Alhaji Ibrahim Abdullahi, disclosed this to the news agency of Nigeria NAN in Gusau on Wednesday. The Commissioner assured that in spite of dwindling resources, Governor Bello Matawalle was able to put in place all human and material resources adequate to truncate the spread of the virus in the state. This effort leads to Zamfara taking the lead in recording 0 cases of the virus infection, which has been sustained for over 3 weeks, and thereby allowing the state government to plan for other things, including reopening of schools. At the moment, the state is only waiting for the federal government's directives on the matter so that schools will reopen and allow the students to continue with their academic activities, especially the final year students who are anxiously waiting to move on to the next level. The Commissioner thanks parents and students for their understanding and cooperation during the lockdown. He pointed out that the state government was doing its best to ensure that all outstanding examinations fees owed WAEC, NECO and other examination bodies. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC Zonal Office in Sokoto has recovered about 400 million stolen funds in its operation between January and June 16, 2020. Mr. Abdullahi Lawal, the head of the office, said this while speaking with newsmen in Sokoto. Mr. Lawal said that the EFCC also secured 7 convictions during the period under review. He said that about 100 petitions were received by the agency, burdened on advanced fee fraud, money laundering, and land matters. The zonal director said that some leaders of Sokoto Trading Association were interrogated by the EFCC over alleged diversion of 1 billion naira loan facility granted by the state government. The zonal office is in charge of Sokoto, Kebbi, and Zamfara states. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has implored political parties intending to field candidates for the Edo and Ondo governorship elections scheduled for September 19th and October 10th, 2020 respectively, to stick to the timetable and schedule for activities earlier issued by the Commission. It warned that there would be no extension of time for the exercise. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, sounded the warning on Wednesday at the opening of a virtual meeting of the Interagency Consultation Committee on Election Security, ICCES. Professor Yakubu explained that, arising from experience in managing the nomination of candidates for the last two governorship elections in Bayelsa and Kogi State, it was important to draw the attention of political parties to the four mandatory requirements for eligibility of candidates for governorship election as enshrined in Section 177 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. He emphasized that the law provides that a candidate nominated by the political party must be a Nigerian citizen by birth, must have attained the age of 35, must be a member of and sponsored by a political party, and must be educated up to at least school certificate level or equivalent. Adherence to those clear constitutional provisions is compulsory in order to avoid the unnecessary litigation that follows the nomination of candidates, some of which are still pending before the court. In fact, one of such cases involving the attempt to substitute an eligible candidate by one of the political parties was determined only on Wednesday, 17 June of this year. The Supreme Courts in favor of INEC were completely settled. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has announced that the record for COVID-19 cases in Nigeria has risen to 17,735. The center announced that 587 new cases were recorded Wednesday. The center made this known via its Twitter handle. The breakdown of the new cases per state shows that Lagos State recorded 155, Edo 75, FCT 67, Rivers 65, Oyo 56, Delta 50, Bayelsa 25, and Plateau as well as Kaduna recorded 8 each. Others are Enugu 17, Borno and Ogun 12 each, Ondo 7, Kwara 4, while Kano and Gombe recorded 2 each, Sokoto and Kebbi 1 each. In total, there are now 17,735 cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria, with 5,967 patients discharged and 469 deaths. The Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari has admitted to the failure of his administration in tackling insecurity. The governor stated this while speaking with journalists in the state capital. Nigerians have urged Governor Aminu Masari of Katsina State to honorably resign following his admittance that he has failed to protect the people from bandits and gunmen. The Director General of All Progressive Governors Forum, PGF, Dr. Salihu Lukman, has stated that the All Progressive Congress APC appears more determined to reproduce the painful past experience in Rivers, Zamfara and Bayelsa states, following the recent disqualification of Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki from the state governorship primary. Alhaji Lukman, in a statement issued on Wednesday, said it was very difficult and challenging to come in terms with the unfolding developments in APC. He noted that the concerning reality of becoming clubbered into another undemocratic political platform, which is intolerant to basic tenets of free and fair contest, was hard to admit. The DG stressed that anyone with small residue of conscience and integrity must have been jolted by what is going on in its ruling party. He said, while it might be easy to pass judgment on the leaders of the party, party members must, however, recognize that the falling and limitation of leaders are equally that of the members. The dust is just beginning to rise following the appeal court upholding of the suspension of Comrade Adams Oshomole as the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress APC. The race to temporarily replace him seems to have begun with both immediate past governor of Oyo State, Senator Obiola Ajimobi, who is the deputy national chairman south of the party, and Chief Victor Giedun, the party's incumbent deputy national secretary and a member of the party's national working committee, NWC, laying claim as next in line. Though the APC, shortly after the appeal court verdict, joined Ajimobi's, the acting national chairman, saying the former governor will be its interim leader, Giodum's camp, in a statement by his counsel, Chief Wole Afolabi, made available on Control TV, insisted that the order of the FCT High Court issued on March 16, 2020 by Mr. Justice S.U. Bature to the effect of Chief Victor Giodun is to act as national chairman of the party. Due to the suspension of Adams Oshimole as the national chairman remains valid, thereby rendering Ajimobi's appointment null and void and of no effect. The leadership of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) will meet Thursday on the fate of Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, who is seeking its ticket to recontest. Sources in the main opposition party said last night that the meeting will consider the reports from the various leaders of the party that the governor has met with in the last 5 days. Obaseki met with Governor Nyesom Wike, Rivers and Odum Emmanuel Akwa Ibom at the weekend before announcing his resignation from the All Progressive Congress APC, which disqualified him from participating in its primaries. His deputy, Philip Shuaibu, also resigned and lowered the APC flag in the government house in Benin. Governor Obaseki has also reached out to PDP National Chairman Uche Secondus and Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal, the PDP's Governors Forum Chairman. How the party will give him the ticket after the completion of the process leading to the primaries without a backlash will be the main issue of discussion. And on business, Samira Ibrahim has more details.
Hello, I'm Samira Ibrahim with the business update. Nigeria lost $48 million to pipeline vandalism and crude oil theft between January and June this year. It was further learned that it is impossible for now to stop the smuggling of crude oil products across the country's borders to neighboring countries. The group managing director, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Mele Kyari, who spoke in Abuja, said the federal government requires $2 billion to replace obsolete pipelines from Escravos to Kaduna. Mr. Mele Kyari spoke at an interactive session on existing petroleum subsidy, ensuring self-sufficiency in domestic refining of petroleum products, organized by the Senate Joint Committee on Petroleum Resources, Upstream and Downstream. According to him, this year alone, the country has lost about $48 million worth of crude oil due to pipeline vandalism. He, however, said the cash is lower when compared to similar losses in the past. He said in 2018 and 2019 alone, the country lost $825 million and $725 million, adding that the reduction was because of the increased surveillance by the security agencies. He said pipelines are being destroyed within townships, not in the bush, with the active connivance of security agents, security contractors and community leaders. Meanwhile, NNPC has started the exploration of oil on Bidda Basin in Niger State. The local government areas in Bidda Basin include Mokwa, Lavun, Gabo, Bako, Bidda, Kacha, Agi, Edati and Lafai local government areas. The NNPC Managing Director, Malam Mele Kyari, who spoke in Mina when he paid a visit to the Niger State Governor, Alhaji Abubakar Sani Bello, to unveil the 2D seismic data acquisition in the Bidda and Sokoto basins, said the ongoing exploration of oil in the inland basins by the cooperation has the potential to increase the nation's reserve to 40 billion barrels by 2023. Represented by the Group General Manager, Frontier Exploration Services, Abdullahi Bomai, the GMD said in-depth geological and geochemical studies have revealed that there are strong hydrocarbon-bearing indicators confirming oil and gas-bearing formations in the 8 local government areas. And that's all we have on Business Desk today. I'm Samira Ibrahim. Thanks for watching.
And on the international scene, President Muhammadu Buhari is currently participating in the extraordinary China-Africa Summit on Solidarity against COVID-19. The meeting is holding via video conference with Chinese President Xi Jinping presiding. The summit is jointly proposed by China, South Africa, the rotating chairman of the African Union, AU, and Senegal co-chair of the Forum on China-African Cooperation. Also at the virtual meeting are Secretary General of the United Nations and the Director General of the World Health Organization. Joining the President at the Council chamber of the meetings are the Ministers of Health, Foreign Affairs, Finance, Budget and National Planning. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. CP Usman Nogogo unveils Maru and Svtv local government community policing advisory committees. Zamfara expresses readiness to reopen schools. COVID-19 hit 17,735 cases in Nigeria. On business, Nigeria lost $48 billion to oil thefts in 6 months. And on the international scene, Buhari participates in extraordinary China-Africa Summit. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Ibrahim Gobertino, I am Foze Ibrahim. Have a nice day.